Hi, it's Melanie Goodhue from Pulse Wealth Management, and I'm lucky enough to bring back special guest Natalie Cox, co-owner of CPI Interiors. Thanks for coming back and joining me, Natalie.
Thanks, Mel.
My pleasure. So the last time that Natalie joined us, she talked, if you missed that, you've got to go back and view it. It's great. She talked about, the difference between hiring a full service designer and the DIY approach, and the difference between buying items from a retail store, maybe even on sale, versus through a designer. And so you don't want to miss that one. This is a follow-up to that, and it's answering another burning question that I get often from my clients, which is, hey, we want to do this bathroom rental, we want to do this kitchen rental, but like, how much do we need to save? So, Natalie, can you touch on that a little bit? I know that, of course, there's very broad ends of the spectrum, but would you mind touching a little bit on that for us?
Absolutely. It's a big question because people don't do this every day. So of course they don't know how much it's going to cost and add up to. And what a lot of people might think is that, the majority of the cost is the kitchen cabinets, but
Mm.
they may not think about the labor that goes involved as well from a general contractor to demo the space, redo the flooring, get all the electrical and lighting in there, and then prep the space for those cabinets. There's just so much that goes into a kitchen renovation or a bathroom renovation. So we get this question a lot. And while yes, all projects come in different sizes, for kitchen design, what the NKBA recommends is about 20% of your home's value. So what we've found is around the Ottawa area, the home's value, are fluctuate a little bit, but we can, at a starting price for a kitchen, it's at least 100,000. It's just, even for a townhome kitchen, it adds up really fast. And then the more cabinets you have and the larger the kitchen, or maybe we're taking down walls, that's affecting flooring for the whole main level, which affects the staircase and painting. It's crazy how an open concept home can go quite higher than that once you get into all the details.
Oh, I can imagine, right? Because yeah,
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
changing flooring in the kitchen, well, does it even match the living room? And then, oh, does that mean the paint color has to change? And
Exactly.
yeah.
It's everything, the baseboards and then the ceiling and everything gets affected, right? So we do a lot of main floor renovations. And it's very difficult to give an exact cost, but we like being in the same ballpark. We just
Hmm.
want to make sure that when we come back and we're showing them their wish list and everything they want, that they're not blown out of the water. They know that, okay, that's the range I was thinking it was going to come back at, but we can't guesstimate a precise number until we do the design and get precise quotes from all of our trades.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I know initially when you think 20%, you're like, oh, really? Like 20% of a whole value of a home for a kitchen. But like you say, if you want to do it right and you want it to incorporate with the,
Yeah.
rest of the house and not just be like, oh, the kitchen looks really great. And the living room that's right there,
Yeah.
completely mismatched.
It's very hard to do these projects on their own. Sometimes it
Yeah.
does flow into other areas. A project you can do on your own quite easily is an ensuite bathroom or a
Mm.
main bathroom because it is a very separate room and it doesn't necessarily need to flow. Usually there's a door.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so for a main bathroom that's like a tub shower combo, vanity, standard size, there you're looking at least 50,000, like with the labor and all the material involved. And that's giving us some wiggle room to, find a nicer tile and not just go like as low as we can go, right?
Yeah.
I always say that the more you save, the more creative we can be. So if you have a really tight budget, it means that I'm limited to what I can choose for you.
Yeah, for sure. And I can imagine like, when we just for our cottage reno, right? This was a
Yeah,
perfect thing to do, like DIY. But I remember just getting, I don't know what you call it, rental fatigue or something, and not physically, but just like, oh my gosh, we have to go to the store
another
and get
choice.
like another thing, like, oh, this,
Yeah.
we're missing this. Okay. And so what initially, right, in the DIY approach where you're like, yeah, I think I've got everything,
Yeah,
you're like, ah, I'm not, this is not my job. It's not my expertise.
exactly.
So there's all these things when you DIY it that, scope creep, right? Because you just didn't, oh, shoot, I didn't even think about that cost. I didn't think I would need that thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's important to remember when, talking about cost of the DIY versus full service designer is that, like you say, when you get a price from you, that's
It's
really
for
like
all.
it's for everything. And the onus on
Hmm.
that is really on you. It's no longer on me. Where, if we
That's
have
right.
the DIY approach, who knows? It might seem like it, oh, I could do this for 20,000. And maybe at the end of the day, it's 40 and you spent a ton more time, made a ton more
Time.
errors, stressed out. It's taken you, all this extra. Whereas, really, would you look at that 10K and go, was it worth it?
Yeah.
Probably not, right?
Oh, that's great, Mel. Great selling. 'Cause that's exactly why we
It's
do what we
true
do.
though, like with our
Yeah.
cottage, it's like it went on forever and ever, and eventually it's like you almost like don't even like the project anymore.
I know you're almost too
So
close to
yeah, no,
it. Too
totally.
much blood, sweat, and tears.
I truly see the value in that full service approach. Thank you so much for answering yet another burning question that I get a lot
Fantastic.
with my clients, and hopefully this is helpful to our audience. If you have any questions for Natalie, I'm going to throw her information below, and you can just click on the link and book a quick call with her. So thank you so much, Natalie, for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, Mel.
My pleasure.